Just mic up. What's my cheat code on right now? Like everything, okay. Let's do this shit. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? We've got one more controller to test. This one's here, this conveniently in a nice sized bubble wrap bag. I think it seems fine with that way. That seems fine, okay. So I need to now open up Chrome. Okay, let's switch the controller tester. I feel quite nice. That one feels a little bit off in circularity. We'll test anyway, vibration. Yep. Yeah, they're completely fine. Oh, it is climbing a bit though. The centering seems fine, I think, and the range. That's considered a pass. I wonder what sticks I actually have in here. We haven't tested it with the batteries yet though. Have we already tested this one? This one's even got a sticker on it, on the one side up. That's one of the newer stickers too. I don't think I done this one last stream. Did I even put that battery in the right way? Yeah. Okay, we're getting some drop frames going on. Not too sure why. I got tough I knocked it on, wouldn't I? Okay. Let's test this. Okay, we're just connected. Yep, that works. Not labeled though, so unknown sticks. We have to open this up, I guess, and have a look so we know. Huh, this is probably on you a while. This has been on you a while. I'm guessing anyway. Yeah, this is keyword. Okay, we got it off anyway. All this effort just to look inside to see what sticks I put in there. Also, for anybody who is opening these up, normally I do this off camera because it's just easier to do close to your chest. I'll see if I can do it on camera, how I remove these, because I often see so many pry marks. Like I used to go in through the bottom here. Let's just do it with a nail though, just pull. But yeah, the way Microsoft recommends doing it in one of their videos, which I do it now, is you just push down the trigger here. Oi, oi, what's going on, Boring Bird? You just push down here, that creates a bit of a gap. You put your thumb in there now, and you just pull it off like that. It's that easy. It's easy if you do it close to your chest though. Just pull like that, close to your chest. Some are a little bit harder to get off than others. But yeah, you don't need to pry at any of these gaps or anything. Just push the trigger down and thumb. Nice and easy. Oh, get this slip in, I need a larger bit. With the Xbox controllers, you don't really need to be worrying about the screws. You just need 2 size screws. All the outside screws are the big ones, and there's 5 of them. And then I think there's 8 small ones for the board, plus 2 small ones for the triggers. All the small ones are the same size. How are you doing this evening, mate? I'm doing very good, thank you very much. How are you doing? You good? I've made some purchases as well. So I paid more. Probably should have. Oh my God, we've already managed to rip that glove. How the hell have we done that? There's me like bigging up these gloves yesterday, doing the durability test. Good thing we've ordered the other gloves. We've ordered the I want to say 835. 93853, I think. Oh, back up. Calm down, back up. Nice, thank you for that, Eric. Evening, Falcon. How are you doing this evening? So yeah, we've ordered them gloves, so they should be arriving tomorrow. Because these are 93732s. And as you just see, we just had like a random rip there. I'm not too sure what from either. So we won't have that. I was also considering doing a basic how-to series step by step for people. Because I know when I was trying to learn controller repair, there wasn't much like documented stuff on how to do everything, or the correct way to do it, things to watch out for. Like I can see I've soldered this wire around the wrong way. It doesn't really make any difference, there's plenty of clearance. But the correct way would be to solder this grey wire around from the outside, because it stops the chance of it coming up here and fouling the bumper. Little things like pushing the antenna cables in here, because otherwise when you put the back on, this part here pushes in this gap. This is why this has a battery shaped cutout here. This is where this goes, in here. So if your cables are here, 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 and not in these cutouts, they get mangled by this. I've had 1 or 2 I've bought where people have not done that, and the cables have been like still connected, but all cut and just like floppy, hanging off dear life on the way to breaking. We've had to solder mask them up to try to give them some stability. You know, how I would make sure that the cables look for these, making sure they're tinned up. Just little things like that. Just, yeah, and because I've got like parts for everything, I can show removing, doing everything basically. It's going to have to be with Alps because we have some Alps sticks right now. Like plenty of them to use. So yeah, we can do that. We can do the sticks. We can do the bumper potentiometers. And potentiometers, they're not potentiometers, they are momentary switches. The switches for the bumpers, I think I've already said the triggers, battery terminals, because we have the battery terminals on here and here. Also on the case as well, because they come as a set. We can also, from tomorrow onwards, do USB ports, because I finally bit the bullet and purchased a Hot A station. So I'm finally going to be the proud owner of a Hot A station. It is a cheap one. It's not the cheapest one. There was one for, I think it was £25 on Amazon. And I was like, oh, I should get that one because it's like only £25. But it wouldn't have arrived till like Wednesday or something. And I'm impatient. So I got the one that Joey Does Tech tested in his video. The Yuha or something like that, I think it's called. I'm probably absolutely butchering the name. But yeah, I've ordered that one. Because it should be good enough, basically. I'm not expecting amazing things, but yeah, it should be good enough. So we'll be able to do them finally. So I'll have to attempt them. Oh, you can't see because it's in the mid frame. But the LED, I'm pretty sure, is on the other side of this USB port. So I'm assuming I'm going to have to remove the LED and put that to the side safe before I like melt the hell out of it by like heating under the board to do that. Because I'm assuming I need to heat from under with this, just because the legs, pins, whatever they'd be called, that connect onto the pads on the board, they're not visible. They're hidden inside this ground case shielding. That's why I need Hot A to do it. Otherwise I would just, low melt solder and, get it out. But yeah, never done one of them, but I kind of know what to do. It's just like how much heat to use, basically. I'm going to start off on maybe 400 and work my way up from there, I'm thinking. I know roughly how long I should be heating it. Maybe this, and maybe slowly getting it about 3/4 of the way there now. Maybe almost about now, kind of thing. And then give it a little tap test. And then if not, keep going a bit longer. I know I shouldn't be holding it still and going for maybe over a minute or more solid. If I'm going for maybe over a minute, then I need to higher my temperature and try again. Heat from underneath. I can just cover the LED with Teflon tape. It'll be fine, you reckon? Is that not going to deflect a lot of the heat I need though? Because I want the heat to transfer through. Would it not just be easy just to remove the LED and then more efficient heat transfer to the area I need? Yeah, luckily there's no plastic that I can see on this connector. Maybe there is some in the inside. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of fiber glass material the port is made of though on the inside. And I think the rest is just all metal on this one, luckily. Extra heat with plastic. Wow, nice. Thank you for all these handy tips, James. These are going to super come in handy. This is the best thing as well, to keep all the case and plastic on when I'm using the heat gun too. Just yaw the way from the top, right? Like this. Don't need to remove any of this stuff on the board. It's max temperature, just up close as I can, hold it still. What sticks are even in here? I think these are Alps. Full send. Nice. But yeah, that should be arriving tomorrow. What else did I order? I ordered a bunch of stuff. I was going to order another soldering tip. Okay, this one's a KL. Does anybody know what KL is? Is the KL bigger than a K? Don't tell me I've got like the largest possible K tips. You've been big spending, yeah, sadly, yeah, don't remind me. It makes me sad thinking about it, because there's still a bunch of other stuff I want to purchase. KL, long, I guess. Oh, a long one. Yeah, because both, I think they've got a... Because this one seems like a longer boy than this one. Because I want to be getting I think it's called a KU. I think is the smallest. I think when I looked, it said KU is the smallest K tip you can get. This one is just a K. That's what I don't understand. This one says K. And this one says... Because I thought this one was going to be smaller. Well, I guess technically it is smaller, but it's not at the same time. This one's KL. Like the tip is the same size, but like this part here is shorter. No, that's K ultimate. So I'm confused. This one KL, but it's like same size on the tip, but it's just like, God, this part is shorter. This part here. But I was looking on Amazon and they were like £8 for like a really cheap one. And I was like, oh, I'll just wait till I get that on AliExpress for like £3 probably. Because I like the K-tip. It's one of my favourite. Just because it's the most like diverse and universal, depending on like how you angle it and use it. Nice, Deco. Going mad. Deco loves showing his booty. Calm down, Deco. Showing his booty lately. So I think when I do my AliExpress order, I'm going to get a KU tip. Eventually I'll get like at the soldering station that can take like the both, it's a 235, 210 and a 1.8 something. I forgot what the three sizes are. But yeah, one of them soldering stations. Because I know for a little extra you can get like the 3 handles to work with it. And I can just use any size tip then. But I'd probably still keep this if I need to work on larger stuff, just because, you know, a large iron maintains its temperature better thermal transfer. So I think this one is fine if I remember correctly. We tested it, didn't we? We just needed to see what sticks are in it. They look like Alps, and they look brand new. Okay. Oh, they snap on, absolutely lovely. That's really satisfying. The only thing I might do is just swap this wire around here. The rest of the wires are okay. This one, I guess it's okay. It is technically got solid going up and over. It's just I poked the wire in a bit far. And I don't really need to move that one. But I guess as we're being a bit OCD about things now, we'll swap that to the correct side. And I will, it doesn't need doing, the red controller, but I don't think I put new sticks in it, just because they look a bit grubby. So I'm just going to put new sticks in it, just because it gives me something to do. I've got plenty of Alps sticks, and it's just handy for anybody who needs to see how it's done. Or maybe not how it's done, but how I would do it with the basic equipment I have right now. With the Hottie, I'm going to get a bit of practice in, but I'll probably just be using Hottie instead of this attachment. But I know a lot of people have this attachment, so I'm definitely going to do a video, I think, on how to, or how I would recommend using this. I'm pretty sure the way I use it is just, I'm pretty sure I read the instructions from the seller or something online about making sure it's like tinned and you've got like solder in each of the holes, because I've seen people using it like dry, which is just like, it's not going to work. Plus the holes are much bigger than the pins. So like air is not a very good insulator. Most of the heat will transfer from here to the board because they're touching, but not to the pins because they're not touching. But if you've got solder in these holes, then it's liquid, it fills the holes, there's contact, the direct thermal contact then between this and the pins. Let's have a look. K-tip, standard knife. K-tip, long KL. I'm so confused then because my KL is shorter than my K-tip, which has now disappeared. Oh, here it is. See, this one says KL, but it's like shorter. So I'm confused. KU tip, knife ultra, angled variant. Okay. I'm going to have to double check that it's definitely smaller. Can anybody confirm if a KU is like smaller? Because I have seen some and they're like much narrower. They're about half the width of this one. That's what I want because that's probably going to be the best option I've got for this station. Yeah, I have the A90 that comes with the 3 handles. Yeah, I think that's one I was looking at, T10, 115 and 245. Yeah, that's the numbers. I always forget the numbers. A nice soldering station. Yeah, that's one I was looking to get when I eventually, or if I get one. Like a nice one. That's the one I would I'd go for. It's going to be nice to have hot air. And maybe once we got hot air, we might feel a bit more confident to attempt other types of repairs, maybe? Question mark? I don't know yet, though. Oh, I forgot. Also, I added some more soldering wick as well. Some super wick. I don't think it was like the really, really good super wick because it was only a couple of pounds, but it's not really a long row. It's only like 1.5 meters or something. But yeah, I thought I'd try like a decent brand of wick for a change. And it was in about the same price range as like the crap wicks. Like the no brand wicks. So it's like, it's a no-brainer really. Even though they are probably maybe wider wicks. And this is probably going to be quite a narrow one, I'm assuming, for the price. It was in like fractions of feet or inches or something, and I was like, I don't know what size that is. But yeah, even though it is probably going to be like thinner, kind of widthwise, I'm assuming it's going to have better. I say better braid. It's not really the correct term. More copper density, like a tighter weave on it, and probably more flux built in and stuff. Oh, that's my assumption. We'll test, and we'll also test them gloves when they come as well to see, because they should be good. Do we have enough solder on this? Yes, I think we do. I'm going to quickly just dab it down to be sure though. But that's technically how the way it should be done. I don't know if that shows up that well on stream. I just got that from GBT, so I don't know. Ah, okay. I should have gone more isopropyl alcohol, but I really don't want to be spending that kind of money because I think I'm just going to go the 5 litres because it's pointless getting 1 litre. It's not going to last me very long. And then I have to pay like, plus you're like, you're just overpaying by like 3 or 4 times. Shit, what did I just knock over? It's just a USB pen. You overpay by like 3 or 4 times when you buy just like a 1 litre of IPA. Okay. So yeah, that's how I would, otherwise technically should be done. So we'll put Alps, I guess. Put Alps, I guess. Okay, now it's making sense. We'll put the case and everything back on this. We'll put Alps on the label, so I know it's Alps. That's what I needed to say. I need to find where I've put the case now. Oh, it's okay. I guess it's got. Are they new joysticks? Maybe, I don't know. They're like in pretty good condition. If they're not. I've actually got an OEM back cover as well. It's nice to have a back cover. I'm tempted to try to do some other types of controllers, but I've never done any before. Any other ones? I think for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series, you can just use Alps 10K on all of them. Even though I think one of them uses a 2.5K, maybe it's the PS4. But there is calibration software, I think, for that, so it probably wouldn't matter. Because literally some of these TMRs are like 500 or something, like 500K, I think. Something like ridiculous. Compared to the 10K that the potentiometer carbon film, I think they're called potentiometers. Oh, I got an Alps non-TMR. I have found another spare label printer that connects to a computer if you want it. Tempted, but I don't know if you've seen, we have got this one all working and everything now. I don't know if you've seen on the stream. The Boring Brit has made, still haven't checked your newest version out. He's made like proper software and everything for it. Because we had like that basic Windows 95 ass looking shit that we made. Let's put this controller to the side for a second. And we will show you the amazing upgrade that the Boring Brit made. Let me find it. Where's it here? Desktop Pigeon Label Maker, I think it is. And if we switch to here you go. Yeah, this is the upgraded version. It's like drag and drop and stuff, and you can just like size stuff like this, and all the fonts, font size, brightness, contrast. You can add like text, QRs, justification and stuff. Different templates. You can add like a QR. It's just like all drag and drop and everything. And then you can like print. You can like connect anything down below. Then we're connected right now. No, we're not connected right now to it. But you can do like your connection things here, scan, pick your device, shows if it's connected up here and stuff. Then you can print. He's updated this since this version. I think now the copies amount is up here, and maybe some other tricks. I haven't had time to like look and test it yet. The copies option is here at the moment. You've got your recent here. Nothing showing up in print history currently for some reason. But yeah, you've got recent. I can click there. Maybe that would auto print if I clicked it, but the print is not connected right now. But yeah, super cool. It's an amazing job. Yeah, it is super cool. Yeah, I'll have to check the Neo one when I've got 2 minutes. I just literally been using the basic one for now though, because I've only needed like basic text. But I do need to get used to using the other one. Tested. What are they called? Alps 6. So we can put this on here now. How's your labeling going anyway, Bowen Britt? How many labels have you got left? Like 1, 2? Didn't you say you had like 1,800 labels, I think? You need to make sure to label your labels so you know that they're labels. Otherwise, how are you going to know what they are? So first roller came with it. I even labeled my toothbrush with IPA sticker. Nice. That's good. Is that so you don't get it confused with your regular toothbrush? I hope you've labeled your regular toothbrush with teeth. Oh, wait, we put it almost, that's upside down. That's not the way it goes. Now we need something like one of these. I'm trying to get these on with the glove because they're so grippy. It's really hard. Okay. Just put the back cover on. It's looking good. We are the other here. Yo, what's going on, 8-bit label maker? Label? The label maker, just to be sure. Oh, we have. We've labeled just so we know what it is. We might get confused and think it's a toaster or something. Or like some kind of like giant ass vape. So I think everything's done on this one, isn't it? This can go into the box. Okay, good. Don't want another label maker mishap. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to get confused. Your label maker and your vape mixed up. So that box is now. Oh, can I even get that lid on this? Okay, that's gonna have to slide down a bit. Will you slide down the end still? Oh, that's a bit. Oh, come on. I can't even fit all of these in the box. It doesn't want me to put the lid on. Our controller box is officially like full. It is a sandwich of controllers in here. I have to put this one sideways maybe. Can we put it this way down sideways? Because at the moment it doesn't have one of this. Put the lid down without smushing the some of the controllers, joysticks. Which I don't want to be smushing stuff. We spent a lot of time on this. Nice. There you go. Once I get them in. So there is now 3, 6, 9 controllers in here. Surprising how much 9 controllers weighs. We definitely need to stop holding controllers. So this one we'll be able to fix tomorrow. This one has a faulty USB port. Because we have USB ports here. I just hope that they're the right ones. I'm pretty sure they're the right ones. Watch them not be the right ones. When I go to like take it off and everything. No, they look like USB-C. I'm pretty sure they look the same. I ordered them so long ago. I planned to get Hot Ace straight away. And then just didn't want to spend the money because I was buying ducks. We'll put new sticks on this just for the lols. I'm not 100% sure if I put new sticks on them last time. They come up and test perfectly fine. But they look like they've got like dust and like hair and stuff on them. I'm just like, they can't be new. And the battery terminals, look, do they look brand new? No, they're in good condition. Who knows? Bit of a gap there on this. Oh. Is that okay? Can you guys see the gap difference here? I have to inspect that. We haven't taken all apart, but it's clicking perfectly. Oh, wait. That's broken. Broken plastic. If you go right out to the very edge, you should be able to click on the very, very edge. On this, you can't on this one. You can when you go up top. So this one's sitting a bit lower, and that's what the gap is. The plastic's broken on here. Okay, so to remove the grips, you can obviously put a pry tool in here, but I wouldn't recommend making any marks. Push down, there's now a gap. Just pull. If you do it close to your chest, it's much easier. You can use your fingers to just pull them off. Feels a bit barbaric, but that's how Microsoft literally says to do it. They have a video up showing how to do this. How to disassemble one of the controllers. Because I used to go in with a nail from the bottom, which is quite painful on your nails. Let's get some new sticks in here. Oh my days. This is just small a bit. I think we've got the one of the screws, and it might be a bit worn. Would that be the correct term? It's like slipping. So I had to switch to a larger bit. But then a larger bit just sticks in the the correct size screws, the non-worn screws. It's a nice color on this controller though. Let's move all these stupid screws. So we have this open. Yeah, I'll see if I can show you the. So it's just like just gonna call them General Alps. General Alps sounds like a bit the war hero or something. They're just like regular Alps. I'll show you the mics up now. What I mean though about the. I don't think I've changed them. See like that hair and stuff at the bottom. Like they look a bit too fuzzy to me. Be new sticks. So I'm thinking, even though they're testing perfectly fine, if I am going to sell them and they're not new sticks, they could be partly worn. Unless I just put new potentiometers on there. It kind of looks like I might have. See, the gaps are bigger, I think. Yeah, see this one here, the gap looks slightly bigger. When they're from factory, they are like tight. So maybe I just put new parts on them. But we might as well just swap them to brand new sticks. Let's put these somewhere safe. Put the case together if we can. Why does this not want to? There you go. You can put these on. They are much harder if you put them on though, to get off when it's not screwed in. So I probably wouldn't push them all the way down. Just kind of like rest them there. Put to the side. If we do pick up some other controllers as well, as long as the boards are in like fairly good working order, we do have all of these parts. I think this one was a mid-frame that we needed to repair. The rest are like a full working housing and everything. So maybe we can get our hands on like a good deal or a cheap controller because we have a lot of parts. All right, what was I doing with this? Oh, I'm taking it apart now. Okay. Excuse me. We've got so many just like random ones we've taken out of controllers lying around. Most of them are in like decent working order. Tended to put them all in the box and just like reuse them because like most of the springs are still perfectly good on them, and they're all genuine. Just need new parts, which I've got 50 of them. I think this bag says 50. Let's put on our amazing, not janky, not really crap. It's going to call it a soldering station then. A fume extractor. To put it like right there if I do anything. Super high tech. It's got a switch that has two functions. It does on. It does off, and then it does on. It's even got a filter. It's just you need to literally be right here for it to do anything. If I go like here, it does like nothing. If you're like here, It's pretty good. The problem is I'm never that close to it to use it. I need to get like a good one. Because the amount of fumes I get is like too much. Let's remove all of these. Let me find the tweezers. I'll remove this side. Just because I'm right-handed, it's going to be easier. Need to flip the board around to remove the others. I like the K-tip, but this one's a bit too large to get in some areas. But I find it really versatile. You can just rotate it around however you need to use different parts. Let's wire it out of the way. I'm definitely going to try and get a smaller K-tip though. I'm just going to pop the motors out then. We don't need to remove the motors or anything. Don't need to take the antenna cables off though. Just be careful with those. I've also noticed, I don't know if it is true, are all antenna cables all the same length? Because that would make sense. I know they are very prone to different resistance and stuff. What's going on, Deco? Why'd you keep turning away? That way, Deco. You've been awfully sus lately, Deco. This is not a booty stream. Thank you for the like. Need these screws down here. This should now come out, if we haven't forgotten anything, that is. To get it out, I normally just push on these. You can push in these corners, but I'd not rather do that because it's going to pull it up at an angle. It's not bad, but it's just more even pressure. Push in there. Just come straight out. And then just watch these cables when you're pulling out, because they are prone to going back into these little grooves. And these grooves are bigger than the heads on these cables. So you can just get any or two. Just shoo them out of the way. Put this away somewhere safe, because these love wandering off and then forgetting to go back in place. Yeah, these look a little bit hairy. They look like they've been changed though. These solder joints look shiny. They're good. It's hard to tell if they're not factory or not, but it's pretty easy to solder in the Alps ones. And there's not a drop of solder on any of the ground. Little trace going around the outside of the board. So maybe they haven't been changed, but I don't know. These two grounds here look a little bit shiny. Slightly more round than I'd expect compared to these back two. But I don't know, they don't look perfectly new. It's because there's a little bit here. I don't even think this one's fitted flat to the board. I think it's factory. It's not far off. It's not perfect though. Length has time to do with frequency, I believe. So yeah, I guess they would all be the same. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because when I see them, they all look exactly the same. And when I was trying to like learn about like different radio frequency and stuff like that. Yo, what's going on, Palm Tech? How are you doing? How are you doing today? Alright, we can just yeet this off to the one side. Now I put this away safely. We need one of these bad boys. I don't think this is gonna. Fingers. Do we have anything we can place across this? Will this box work? Oh no, it won't, because once I put this board in here, it's going to be wider than this, I think. So this can probably just get placed here. Flip this around this way. So that's the way I prefer to do it. You could do it this way around if you wanted to. I've done that, but I don't know, it's just harder for me. I always put it this way around. So this is top right. Get this in. Fine, yeah, I am good, thank you very much, PhoneTech. That's how I would start with this. Right, let's adjust the focus a bit. I think that's probably about right. I would start with a bit of flux. And I would just get flux on all of these. It's not needed, but it does make things easier and better. And I'd get a soldering iron. If you have hot air, you haven't got to do it this way. That's hot. Just clean the tip. A bit of solder. This board is absorbing quite a bit of heat. I'm on 360. Strange. I'm adjusting the tip based on which the flat side is on the leg, because these are not round legs, they're flat legs. So if I go in this way, I'm going to be hitting the smaller surface area on these ones, on this row up here. So I go in this way. These ones, the legs are this way across. So I go this way, because it's a K-tip, so, you know, wider surface area to wider surface area. If anybody's wondering, or just any tips for anybody who's maybe looking on a way of that for doing this kind of stuff. Sometimes you just got to be careful of some of these test pads. I love lurking everywhere. Need some fresh solder on there. It's going to be used up. Did I do these ones? I think I did, but I definitely did now. Now let's do the other side, which is a little bit harder because you've got the, what's it called, Hall effect sensor here, and then that decoupling capacitor. Like, it's completely fine. If you lose that capacity, it makes no difference. I say it makes no difference. It technically makes a difference, but you're not going to notice it. Just because of the rest of the decoupling and smoothing and stuff that's done on this circuit board. If you took a bunch of them off, you'd have an issue. It's already getting a pretty smooth voltage to it. I do need to get a, what's it called? Brass wall? I think that's what it's called. I'm trying to concentrate on think of the names of things at the same time. It's difficult. Can't remember which ones I've done now. This one here is really difficult to do with a large tip. So it's this one. Because you're going to come from the inside if you don't want to hit that stupid, I think it's like a ground plane going on the outside. Did I do all of these? I'm not sure if I've done these last two, so I'm just going to quickly just touch them. No, I'm pretty sure I've done all of them. They're all flowing really nice now. You've just got like dabs on. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all done. What I probably should do is not necessarily needed, but it will make my life easier. If you guys can see here under the microscope, like it's like, yeah, I've got lots of flux there. It's good. It's going to help for when I go to try to remove these now. But if you see, some of the flux is already burnt. So if I now put more heat on there, yeah, I'll have flux here that's going to work and help. But this burnt flux is going to burn even more. It's going to be an absolute pitch to get off. So yeah, it's going to cost more flux and more IPA to clean it off right now, and then clean it again in a minute once we remove them. It is going to make the cleaning process easier. Because it's not going to be burnt to hell and back and stuck to the board. Good way to remove it though is just dab another bit of flux on there. Just get your soldering iron and just rub your soldering iron over the burnt area, gently, obviously, and that'll lift that stain right up most of the time. The burnt flux just come right off, providing you haven't scratched the conformal coating off. Doesn't need to be like super thorough at this point. I'm just going to remove any of that burnt flux. That seems okay. A couple of stray hairs here and there, but that's not bad. There you go. What type of flux do I use? I use this flux here. No, I'm joking, I don't use that one. This is the flux I use. It is, I'm pretty sure it's a copy. It's like fake Kingbo. Some people say, oh no, it's real Kingbo off AliExpress, but then you make reason that I say that is there's two contradictions on here. Tokyo, Japan, yeah? So Kingbo is a Japanese company. Then why the hell does it say Kingful, authentic, China, Shenzhen, or however you pronounce it. Like, that's China. Japan and China are two different places. But it works perfectly good. Decent flux. I've got this one. This one I've used like once, and it was absolute crap. And I've got this American one here, SRA. It is a solid flux. You can't heat it up and make it liquid. Or you could just like dip legs and cables and stuff in it. Or you can just scoop a little bit out and put it on where you're working. Made with a license. This from Japan, I have no idea. I think it's just a copy. You know, it's like an AliExpress. Yeah, RMA 218. Works fine. I think RMA 218 is just a general formula anyway, that a lot of companies do. So I think that's really all that matters. It's probably just only a handful of chemicals, I'm assuming. I did look what all the chemicals are to do it. It's still rosin based, but the rosin has been through some kind of like special process, which makes it really like pale, rather than like an amber color. You guys even see where I'm cleaning? You can't. My bad. Just giving this a quick wipe down. And then we will crack it. Let's knock this off. Going to change the soldering bit. I have no idea where we're going to put this hot air station. You weren't here when we announced it, FarmTech. I finally went ahead and made the purchase of a hot air station. It is a cheap one. It's not the cheapest one. The cheapest one on Amazon was £25. But I would have had to wait a couple of days till Wednesday, however many days that is. Like, I'm bad to count. So we got the one that Joey Does Tech like recommended / tested in his video. It was like £38 something. It's like £39, £40. So that is coming tomorrow because I'm impatient. So yeah, I think we've got 2 controllers that need USB port swaps on them, so that'll be good practice. And also that controller that I think has got an issue with the main chip. So I'm going to try a reflow on it and see if it does anything. Because I feel like that is the issue. It's the one where if we plug in the antenna cable into J1 or J2, like it does knock on, and if you unplug it, it does. And we've tested to make sure that it is the top board, and the only thing between that and this chip, because the connector's there and the chip is there and the SoC, is a couple of, like, I think it's capacitors, is it resistors, the Zener diodes, it's an RF chips, another kind of chip. There's some Zener diodes, capacitors. But yeah, we've tested all of them basically, and they're all testing, as far as I can tell, fine. I think the only things we didn't test was like the RF chip and the other little chip, the 2 little white things here, because I wasn't too sure how to test them. But I'm pretty sure. Also, does anybody know why some of the controller chips have a paint mark on them? It's never in the same corner, because there's already a dot that's printed onto the chip to line up with chip orientation. But some controllers seem to have a different color, like some of a green and some of a blue, like a little dot put on them. And also I've come across boards as well that have like a permanent marker somewhere on them as well, which I feel like it's been flagged up in the factory for like QA, quality assurance, and there's then had to be like readjusted maybe by hand and then signed off, all the area marked or something. I don't know, I'm just taking guesses, but it's not on all of them. It's quite funny when you work on the same device over and over, you become really familiar with like what should be standard. So when you come across anomalies, you pick them up. Let's get our stubby boy out to go with this. We won't even need this once we have hot air. You can just use hot air. It's just going to be so much easier. gutted I'm not getting like a much better hot air. Is roulette now running? It should be. Is it not coming up for you? It might just be like a delay or lag. Lumia Stream can be quite crap at times. It's a shame because it does like so many good integrations and things. But I don't know, I seem to have a lot of issues with stuff not working. Okay, we're gonna get this out. Just so we can pop that on there because this gets hot. Hot, hot, hot. Yo, Sloth. Yo, Pigeon in chat. How is it doing? How are you doing, Sloth? I'd have I knocked this thing on, wouldn't it? Yeah, how are you doing today, Slostak? I'm good. Okay, so we're on to the next step now, removing these with this soldering attachment. So we come back in with more flux. Don't need a massive amount of flux here. Just a little bit. Even though it seems a bit backwards, like we're removing them while we're in flux. But it just helps all the solder flow. Basically the solder that we're going to have tinned on our tip. And the solder that is on these pins. Also help the solder flow through. Like if a solder's in a flow state, it is going to liquefy better, and liquefied solder transfers the heat better basically to the other solder below on the legs, which makes it just much easier and faster and cleaner to remove. Okay, we need to get this cleaned up a bit though, because we have just a big ass blob of solder on the end. It's just going to be a little bit difficult to do. Because it's so damn big. I don't think I've ever cleaned this tip off. Damn, it's come up quite nice. I'm not surprised that it's been pretty well protected, because I made sure, like I seen people on the, I think they probably running it too hot as well, on the reviews for this thing on AliExpress, and they just looked really bad and oxidized and burnt and stuff. But like, mine's cleaned up perfect. You just gotta make sure to keep it well tinned. This thing with anything. That's all kind. And then you need to make sure see there's holes in the top. It's probably out of focus, but you get the idea. You want to poke your little thing in there. Make sure there's solder in all the holes. But carefully without getting too much, because sometimes you can just get way too much solder built up on the top of this thing, and it will burn off pretty fast, the flux. But that's basically ready to go now. Got solder in all the holes. Tweezers, I wish I could find my goddamn tweezers. Here they are. Oh my god, back up, please chill out for a second. Alright. Alright, back up, you need to calm the fuck down, you're gonna fall off. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the bottom of this stick with the tweezers. Gonna line this up here. Wiggle it till we feel it going right. Is that even making contact with all the pins? Yes it is, there you go. That's one off. You can do the same over this side. I always grip it first, because I don't want to have heat on the board and then be trying to finicking around, trying to grip it. The difficult part is making sure you get this lined up. Sometimes, there you go. Got a lot of solder on this thing. Should only literally take like, I don't know how long that was, maybe 3 seconds or maybe less. Oh, maybe missed like 3 to 5. I don't think it was 5, maybe close to 3. I don't even know. You guys probably time it. How long the heat was like actually applied and pressed down. once I'd lined it up before they came off. But it's super fast. Like there's no burn on these potentiometers, which are quite delicate and sensitive to plastics. I have even had little bulge marks on these from soldering them into the bone, and we have tinned them and removed them with this, and there was zero heat damage on these parts. And we're using a high heat. I use 360 for this, desoldering. I used to put it up and down all the time. I used to go 370 for desoldering, 350 for soldering. Some people might say that's a bit high, especially for a small ball, but I have no issues. It works perfect. I don't even go up and down for desoldering at the moment. I might need to go up a bit now and again if something's been a bit stubborn. 370 desoldering. You could probably go lower with something like this, to be honest. It's such a heat mass, such a large bit of metal, such a big heat mass, thermal mass. It is hot though, and it stays hot for a long ass time, even once you knock it off. Just try to cool it down slightly. You could leave this to the side for like 5 minutes and touch the solder on top, and it'd still be completely liquid. You don't have to be in front of this fan. I'm just trying to cool it down a little bit. Not me to take it off with my hands, but because this gets so warm, normally this cools off pretty fast. The heat transfers right down to this thing, just because this holds so much heat. That and the station to try to like hold the temperature and put enough like voltage, current, whatever it would be, into this to heat this up, it kind of like goes over a lot, like overshoots to maintain the temperature you need for something this large. So this gets much hotter than it normally would. That should probably be good enough to remove with the pliers now. I'm dying here, bone out. I'm going for an earliest night takeout of the year, no problem. Thank you for popping in. What are you dying for, Hako? Sorry? Are you losing the gambling? Oh my god, that's hot. There you go. But yes, be super careful if anybody ever uses one of these. Like, this thing is still stupidly hot and will give you 30-degree burns, even though we've held it in front of a fan for ages to cool it down. We don't have a thermal camera or anything, but you can trust me, it's hot. It's come down under like 200 degrees right now, but I maybe it won't give you 30-degree burns. Definitely give you 1st-degree burns at the moment though, because the solder I think is actually not liquefied anymore. I guarantee that's still well over 100. Because even this is still warm, very warm up the top, and these generally cool down pretty fast. And normally you can remove these, and like down here is normally not even warm, but this one is, and I've got gloves on, and we had it in front of a fan for ages. Yes, the bottom of this is warm, even this part. Not like toasty warm, but I can feel it. If you want to sell out. Did you lose your gambling? Who's winning right now? Falcons got 16 mil. Oh my god. So you guys have well too much. It's not good. I was going to just screw that back on then. It'll be a stubby tip. Like a little mini hot air station. That's what'll probably happen. It's like when you order a hot air station from like Temu. Looks big in the picture, turns up and it's like this big. Like, psst. Deco hitting hard tonight. What we need I'm gonna use this. I think it's a BC2. If I can find it. Is it a BC2? Yeah, BC2. These labels smudge. I need to go into a rehab, I think. Yeah, I think you do have a problem. Worms is fourth. Worms used to be like top for ages. Sloth is in top 5. Nice. Falcon is just right up there. Even ahead of Hawk House and Farm Tech. Damn, Farm Tech's on 8. Damn, you guys have just gone ridiculous. You crazy. You crazy. Now let's move this. Also, if you put this thing on the silicone, it's not too bad. If you put this thing onto the work surface, listen to how like obnoxious this fan is. I might have it here because I got headphones on. Is that like quite loud right now? Not fine. If I put it on the silicone, it's not too bad. I guess we'll keep it on. Deco fall down. Don't make Deco fall down. He is close to falling down now. Also, the camera is like, I don't know what it's doing right now. There you go. Look at the other dice just like creeping in the corner watching. We see you. Right, we're going to desolder. No, we're going to clean these holes. That's what we're going to do. I guess that is desolder. We're going to solder suck the holes. That's what I was going to say. Deco jump. No, don't jump, Deco. Chill out, guys. Stop trying to kill the poor Deco. I'll report you to the RSPCA. I will start with this top hole, just because it's the closest to us, so it makes the most sense. I think that hole is already clear. I can't even tell though, to be honest, but we know it definitely will be once we solve the sucker. I probably should maybe get maybe like a little pot like it's bit wider, so I can just psh all the solder sucker bits into, so I'm not just yeeting them all over my desk. So I'm just asking for a stray one of these to just like get on a board and just short out two of the IC legs on a random board or something. Oh, what happens if I actually put some solder on there? I did not mean to press that button either on the solder sucker. I got a bit excited. You guys stop trying to suicide Deco. Deco is not suicidal, okay? Alright, is this not clicking down now? Okay, there you go. It's running much better since I cleaned it and oiled it and stuff though. I was looking a bit scraggy on the back, but that's fine. That's what solder braid is for. Solder braid, solder wick, John Wick, whatever you want to call it. Wickety wick wick. We've got some more of that coming tomorrow. We're finally going to be trying super wick. Not too sure what one. So not a very long length of it, but I'm hoping with using the solder sucker more, I can be more economical with my usage of the Deco, calm down, of the solder wick, rather than using like about a meter. Oh my god, Deco, what are you doing right now? You mad man. Deco, just a little bit closer to the edge. Try it, we do like smoke. No. You guys just want chaos, okay? I see you. I hope you guys go broke. I'm gonna randomly go and change Deco to like 10 million points or something to use him. without telling anybody when he was gonna go broke. How'd you like them apples? Deco, oh my god, chill out with the Deco spam in chat, guys. Poor Deco. He's gonna have a breakdown again and he's gonna stop working. He done this last time, guys. This is not a Deco durability test stream, okay? Deco, oh my god. Definitely putting the Deco price out. Deco, 15 million points per Deco go. Did that hole even clear? Oh my god, Deco, calm down. Hey, you did this. Deco, calm down. Get away from the edge, Deco. I pushed him right back now, guys. He's miles away from the edge now. You have no chance. Yeah, this BC tip is not bad. I think some of these are already like pretty empty from when I just like removed it. Dang, I tried only got one dance for 100k. Damn, so you get for spamming. I don't think there's a queue on it. So if you guys want to spam it, then that's fine with me. Have we done all of these? I think there's one more to do, and I think maybe we've done them all. It's funny how long these are taking and much I'd struggle to clear all these holes on these boards before. But I guess that's the good thing about practice and also trying different things. It needs a key time to reprogram it. No, he's completely fine as he is. Apart from he's way too clanky. Going to be getting some slippers put on you now, Deco, if you don't chill out. Yeah, all of them are clear, and it didn't take us an hour either, like it used to. I don't know if this is the best way to do this with this kind of equipment. I know obviously hot air is better. But it seems to be the most efficient way that I've found so far. That come clear. Yeah, I'm always like a little unsure when it comes to the ground ones, especially the ones like right near the edge of the board. But yeah, same temperature as I'm using for everything. Still using the same temperature, haven't adjusted it. Just having no issues, just some, like the non-ground planes, just don't put heat on them for as long. The ground plane ones, put heat on for longer. It's not as if I'm putting the heat on the board for like excessive amounts of time. I think we just accidentally touched that hole and just closed it back up. So let's quickly retouch that one. I think we've got, yeah, a bit of solder that needs cleaning. There you go. That was like messing us up a bit. And we've also got a bit of a tail at the back here. Just if we get a clean tip. with no solder on. Dab that off the back and then re-tin our tip. Where were we? On this last one on the bottom row. So let's heat that up. Did I clear that? I don't know. But I'm moving on to the next one. Definitely happy with the improvement of how efficient we've become in doing these now. And with the hot air station, please calm down, Becca. I'm hoping we can become even more efficient doing these. Because the way I was doing them before, I could, like, if I was doing it as a pay service, I could never make any money. Well, I'd make money, but I might as well, like, go and work at McDonald's and probably earn more per hour with how long it was taking me. I didn't want to, like, rush and cut corners. First to go slow when you start, and then just as you get better, then go faster. But I'm trying to go faster when you're not really, like, confident in something. Right, are they all clear? They are. Oh, okay, that bottom one needs retouching actually. This one. That will calm down, boy. Will that one even clear? I don't know if it will, because I don't know if there's enough solder on there. My tip. No, it did not. Because I need some solder on my tip. So the solder actually flows into the hole. That better be clear this time. Yeah, that's fine. So I would look like an idiot otherwise. There you go. That's good. Progress. We're definitely much faster. I remember before it would take us like hours to do that. And like so much soldering work. I am going to use some wick on these though. Just because even though they're clean, there is like, I don't know. It's more than fine. I'm just fussy basically. I like to make sure they're like clean, perfect. These flat pads, no solder on them at all. Is that burnt flux? I'm pretty sure that's burnt flux. So what I'll do, I've got a little spot of burnt flux there that I can't remove no matter how hard I rub it. Put a bit more flux on there. I grab my soldering iron tip. I give it a quick rub. And that's come right off. Just an IPA on there. Just pouring it on because this bud is really dirty. I don't want to be dipping into the IPA and contaminating it. Got another bit. Right there, I was going to put the iron tip straight on that there then. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Because IPA is flammable. Let me grab it. Just dab up some of this, like a tiny bit, doesn't matter. If you've got a big paddle on there, that could go up in flames. Another little burn mark there. So I just put a little bit of flux on there. And just give the bowl a little bit of rub around that burn. Will come off. Lol, hit 33 now. Ball London 33. Even the guys rouletting it up. There you go, that burnt flux has come off. Perfect. Can't even tell there's ever any burnt flux there, you know. That's a little tip for anybody if they do have burnt flux on the board and they're rubbing with cotton bud or something and it just doesn't come off. A little bit of flux on it and just rub the area with the soldering iron gently. Works really well. I've also got some good snacks I'm looking forward to tonight. I don't know how many of you are in the UK, but I've got Ripples, Galaxy Ripples. I will not eat dairy milk chocolate anymore. Maybe a caramel now and again, but they're still pretty crap. Dairy milk is just absolute ass these days. Absolutely atrocious chocolate. It tastes horrible. But Galaxy, especially Galaxy Ripples, have not been ruined yet as far as I'm aware. I don't know, it still tastes pretty good. I really enjoy Galaxy Ripple. Oh, nice, love Galaxy chocolate. Yeah, Galaxy chocolate is like amazing. Not the best chocolate in the world, but after like your general supermarket, popular, well-known, easy accessible brands, it is lovely. There's a bit of bubbling on the board there. Oh no, it's a via. Okay. So they're pretty clean, but I can see some stuff in some of the holes. Nice. That's a FarmTech, yeah. FarmTech just won 1.4 mil all my days. FarmTech and his roulette. Oh, is that hole not clear? No, it is. I just missed, apparently. I was about to say, I could have been sure that every hole was clear. This is just a bit of thin soldering wire. It's another tip. Oh, this one might not. Oh no, it is clear. I can see through it. Is it not wide enough to get this through, though? This is a 0.5 mil diameter. It's just like the perfect size for these holes on here. This one here, we can't get it through even though it looks clear, so we'll go with a bit of wick on there. And this one feels a little tight, it goes in though. That looks perfectly clear. Oh no, my solder just wasn't straight, so it wouldn't go through that one. This one, no, it won't go through. The rest are clear. I'll show you how clean these pads are anyway, but I'm still going to go over them with the wick. See, there's just like some stray stuff around there. And the other side are like pretty clean anyway. What's at the bottom of this one? Is there something in this one? Yeah, this one's not on block. Oh, wait. There was something in there, I think. Yeah, see, they look a little bit scraggy on the top, some of them. But most people would be happy with that. These ones are a bit more scraggy. See, you've got like the little bits in the back. So we'll just use a little bit of solder wick. This way we're not using like loads of it. Not even needed, I don't think the solder wick is. This is me being a bit OCD. This is the step that I like to take. The extra step. So we just cut a bit off. Because otherwise you heat in this entire like, well, not much on here right now, it's just not much of a thermal mass. If you've got a full roll, it definitely is. And yes, I do know that by holding it with the tweezers, or metal tweezers, and this is also a thermomass and it's conducting, you can get ceramic tweezers, which would be better for holding wick. But this definitely works better than the other way, because I used to use the other way straight from the roll for ages, because it's quite convenient with these little rolls, just like that. But this is definitely the better method. If it works with this small ass tip, maybe I'm used to using a big key tip for this. Clean the tip and then put some solder onto it. We'll use a small solder for this because I don't want to completely flood this tip. You always want a bit of solder on your tip when you are wicking. Otherwise it's just going to be, you're going to be rubbing a dry bit of copper around on the board. It's just not going to do anything. Technically with wicking, you're not meant to rub it around the toe. You're meant to put it on top and like lift it off to avoid scratching any conformal coating. But it's fine. I'm pressing very lightly, just enough to get contact with the board. I'm not pushing down really hard, scrubbing away the board. Surprising how much, even though that looked like there was like nothing on there, how much I've actually absorbed into this wick. I'm hoping it should still be flexible enough to clean up the other side of these. You just always want to make sure you've got it like what I would call like lubricated, but just like liquid basically. So you've got your solder on there. You've got obviously not much, just want to saturate it. For your flax, your solder, etc. They should all be perfectly clean now. Both sides. When little stray bits have gone. Oh wait. Yeah, I think it's just a light. So now I'd be happy to clean this up. If anybody else is doing this, that's like not really a needed step or necessary. If anybody was following this along, for example. Is this leg here still? I think this leg here we might have to actually address, because this one looks like it might still be partly blocked. So I think what we'll do with this one is we'll just add some solder back into it. We'll attempt to. We can heat the pad and feed the solder in, which is quite difficult with this kind of tip. Make sure it drops the solder. Yeah, that's dropped. And then come in and add a bowl on top of that. Now that's come through to the other side, wherever that is. See, it's dropped, slightly protruding. And we've got a bowl on the top, so we can heat that bowl from the one side and suck from the other. Wait, what now? That does not sound right. That sounded awfully sus. Where the hell's our solder sucker? Someone? Yo, what's going on, someone? You've got a new display photo, I see. How are you doing as well? Doing good? Yeah, so what I would do is heat from this side. Suck from one side, heat from this side. Just taking a second just to heat it fully, and I missed with the solid suck. I think I slipped off at the last second. To make sure that's heated up. That should be clear now. Let's have a look together. Which hole was it? I can't even remember. Oh, I think it was this one here, wasn't it? Yeah, that's definitely clear. If it was that one. Give it a quick rub with the flux and the wick. Yeah, I can't wait to get this hot air station. Even though it's only a cheap one, I'm hoping it works good enough. Just looking forward to being able to tackle some different types of jobs, hopefully. Hopefully that does okay. I didn't tin up that, but it had a tiny bit of does that look clean enough? Kimmy's lurking. Alright, do we think that's all okay now? Well, one way to find out, isn't it? Give it the poke test. Yeah, that goes through, as you can see. So I think we'll grab a Kimtech wipe and a toothbrush. Did you finish the white one? Which white one? I think this might be the white one that you're referring to, Farmtech. The white controller, the one we were doing earlier. Oh no, the white one. No, this is the, this is the white. No, this is the red one, isn't it? Yeah, the white one with the sticker on it. I can't remember, to be honest. Oh, this is it, I think. Yeah, the one we put a sticker on saying for like faulty USB, maybe? Because I know we tested a white one earlier, the last white one we had left from yesterday. And that one came back completely fine and working. Without any issues, and just had regular alpha sticks in it. But this is, I think, the red one, I think, right now, from yesterday, that had the faulty USB port issue. The sticks came back and tested perfectly fine on this, but I had a feeling that they weren't replacement sticks. So we just put in new ones on, just for peace of mind, to know that, like, even though the carbon filament don't have an amazing lifespan on them, it's going to be longer with the fresh set than ones which could have potential wear. Just gives me peace of mind if I sell it on, and also gives me something to do on stream and just content for people who might need to know how I do it. I'm not saying it's the best way, but I only do, like, so far I've only like done controllers basically, like this specific model, and I've done like maybe 20 of them. And I've definitely seen an improvement in myself from the first ones to now, in like how good of a clean job I can do. I'm getting faster, more efficient, better results, mainly from using like what sticks and stuff to use. Like the best ones I found so far, even though they do have an issue with the legs being shorter, have been the Jinfuls, the newest ones with the non-semi-transparent potentiometers. They are like blue, like a teal color and an orange color. But we don't have any of them left. Jack was missing. Yeah, I think that was a couple of days ago. Yeah, we went back, opened that one. We have, I think, 9 of them in the box right now that are all done, tested. There was one that we had to open back up because the jack was missing. That might have been the one. Wait, what? Is it brand new and they look dirty? What? That one's got like actual dirt on it. What the hell? Oh, let's grab another packet. They all look clean. Unless a used one has slipped in accidentally with my batch. I don't think so. Back and check another time. Why I missed that one, was too late. Yeah, it's all good. I only had a short stream yesterday, and it'll probably be like a fairly short one today as well. It's such a mess from all the solder sucker stuff here. All the, just like the solder we sucked out. Another little tip with these when you get them, like this is a good example. Maybe I should show you into the microscope. Like even though they're in a plastic case, which is good for like shipping, look at the state of these legs. So like always remember to check your legs before you try putting them into the boat. Because these are mangled. And as you've seen, these are in a hard plastic case. And I'm pretty sure they were wrapped in polystyrene as well during shipping. And this is still like that. God, that's what they do in shipping. But you just get a tweezers. And just squeeze and kind of like bend slightly. And do that just on both sides. They are straight enough now, basically. If you want to give them a little bit of a bend back in the other direction. Oh shit, I think you bent one like crazy. Slipped. Oops. Straighten that back up. Like they're in line enough. No, that ain't gonna go in the boat. Just make sure you straighten out all the legs. It's normally only the legs and the pots because they're like much thinner than the other ones. Like this one's bent in the other direction, these ones. So you can just grab them and just do the same to them. So actually use another leg as a reference so you know you're straight when you're doing these things. Then you're going to be fine. Everything on here should be lined up enough. No, damn, these have taken a beating. There's a lot of bent legs on these. That should hopefully be okay enough. Because you've got to be careful, because I have before, I don't know how we managed to do it. Maybe these bend super easy. One of these might be bent. I put it on the board and one of these bent under and didn't go through the actual hole. I didn't notice. I soldered the entire thing on and was wondering why it was like not working. It was working, but not. It was a bit iffy. Because technically it was making contact. It was making contact with the top of the through hole. It just wasn't an amazing secure connection compared to a leg. Look in, I still don't get YouTube info when you go live. Damn, and you've got oh, what's it called? Notifications on, like subbed with notifications. Because that's strange. I used to announce in the Discord all the time, but sometimes I'm lazy and can't be bothered to go to Discord put a post in on live. Just being a bit lazy sometimes. So they all look in line now, guys? I think so. Right, let's pop these in. Oh, I don't know if I put the microscope in the right place, wouldn't it? One thing I do like about these boards is they're perfectly in focus. Like everything's marked out clearly. It's like I wonder where the joysticks go. Wonder which way around they go. It's literally marked with like a nice shape. Let's pop the other one on here. Always like a look from the side and stuff just to make sure when you've got it on, you've got them on flat. YouTube, be like that for me. I feel like I really get enough to get some streams I want to join. Oh damn, yeah, that sucks. YouTube's letting us down. Hopefully it pops up on you guys' like homepage or something. So you're like at least aware. Right, what I'm gonna do now is change over the tip. Because like you could use a BC2 for doing these, it'd be okay. It does have a flat side, but K-tip just works, in my opinion, a million times better. Maybe not a million, that might be an exaggeration, but you know, it just works a lot better. That's why it generally is my favorite tip to use, this big boy. It's like a bit burnt and stuff on the side, but you can still see like the tip is perfectly shiny still. And it's a cheap one, and I don't really look after my tips. Just use them. Yeah, I saw when you went. Yeah, I saw you when I went to the website. So oh, okay, nice, that's good. Normally I come back when I hit subscribe again. Oh, okay, that's strange though, isn't it? Should we flip these over and get them tacked in? These ones are in pretty well, so I don't think I'm going to need to push down on the bottom. We are going to need to knock on our soldering iron again though. And the way I normally do it now, or the way I've started doing it lately, I just find it easier to make sure, like, because you've got to use two hands if you're feeding soldering. And the main benefit of feeding fresh soldering is because obviously it's got the flux, the activated flux still in it, hasn't burnt off the flux. Whereas when you tin your tip and then leave it for a couple of seconds and then try to do a transfer solder from your tip, most of the flux is already burnt off. So you're not going to get any use out of it. So if you want to do it one-handed, you apply the flux to where you're soldering, and then you just put solder on your tip and touch them, and you'll see the solder flow in. But if you try to do it without flux and just put solder on your tip, even if you're fast, it's just not going to work very well. So now I can make sure that this is flat on here. So if I push on here, I'm not going to like accidentally move this. So I'm just going to add a little bit of solder to my tip. Plus it gives me a chance to use the thicker solder doing it this way, because this is way too chunky to feed into these. Just make sure I got plenty of that on there. Make sure this is flat on the bottom of the board. Perfectly flat. And then you can literally just tap on here until you see the solder flow into the hole. You may not be able to see as well as I can from the side, but you'll see it like wrap around from the back to the front. And then after it does that, it drops down the hole and up the leg. It's nice, you can physically see the solder moving. I have a little too much solder on my tip right now though, because I'm not seeing the legs as well. But that's them on. I'm pretty confident that they're going to look good. Yeah. See the shape on them? It's funny when you only solder the one thing. Worms used to add you on Discord. Normally, Worms used to. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we haven't seen Worms on you in a while. I don't know what he's been doing. Must be busy gaming, maybe. But yeah, it's been a good couple of streams since we've seen Worms in, which is a shame. Because Worms was like one of our number one viewers for a long time. Just tinning the tip of my iron up. And then I want the iron on the one side of the pad. And the solder on the other side of the pad. And we don't touch the solder against the iron. We touch the solder against the pad. And the pad melts the solder. I have to turn this 90 degrees. But you definitely want like a thin solder when you're doing this. So iron against the pad and the leg. Feed the solder into the other side. Touch the pad with the solder, not the iron. When you do it that way, you know the pad is definitely hot enough. If the pad is melting the solder and not your iron, the pad's hot enough. If it's not hot enough, then it's not going to take the solder properly. It's going to be a cold solder joint. I don't think that dropped. I think I needed more heat for that. We can come back and touch that back up again. I was trying to actually touch at a decent angle. How many do we have left to do? Do we do all of these? Oh yeah, it's the ground we've already done that one. Just come back and just coming back at the right angle as well. I find makes a world of difference with these. So we're getting flat on flat contact. Let's have a look at these. I haven't even inspected these myself. But yeah, pretty happy with them. Could probably go back and touch some of them bumper ones up slightly with a bit of flux. Because they don't look 100% perfect. But I'm sure if we touch them up, they'll look factory once we just give them a dab. Hopefully it was in focus, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with them. I tried to find Homer Simpson as a dancing figure, but I can't find him. Oh, damn. I'm sure you'll be able to find some somewhere. It seems like it'd be a common thing. I'm sure I've seen them before. Like a long time ago, that's the only problem with like certain things. Might not still be in production or available. I know in the 90s, like early 2000s, probably early 2000s, I'm probably remembering it from. It's like more popular. It's like you could get loads of Simpsons merch or Simpsons licensed stuff. What are we thinking about them solder joints? Yeah, they're all the correct shape. This means they're all being sucked down. Yeah, 2 years ago. Was this time available at 2 years ago? Is that what you're saying, FarmTech? But not now. But I did find a cow. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. You're going to make it a hot cow. These new gloves we got as well better be like military grade indestructible. Oh, you guys can't even see where I'm bloody soldering, can you? There you go. And I forget the whole point of having the camera is so you guys can see. Because I don't even use a microscope, I just use my eyes. I can see fine. I use a microscope when I done the trace repairs on these things. Because that was difficult. For thumbsticks, like I don't need to be using a microscope. Yep, nice. I want to see a dancing hot cow. I bet I'll be goated. So I'm just adding some solder. It's my tip. Making sure this is flat on the board. And we can just come in and quickly touch in until we see it flow around. That's what why I like doing this way, because you'll know when it's done. Because the pad will look empty, or the hole. Once it's hot enough, the hole will fill. Like if it ain't hot enough, the solder's not going to flow where it needs to. Okay, hopefully that's flat. What's that not be flat now? For me, being like, oh, I'm amazing at doing solid sticks. Let's salt the rest of these on. Also, something you can hold it on until the solder drops. Just making sure we're not heating these for too long, because we are giving these a little bit of heat. That's why I always find the best. That's why I also like using my eyes and looking from the side. Because you want to watch how the solder behaves, what it does. You'll see solder when it drops. You'll see when it flows, etc. You just become familiar with how it should behave. I think I need a bit of flex in this area though. With these grounds, they can be a little bit tedious. Just come back in and touch that one again. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. On a loop non-stop on your workbench. or a cow on my bench doing on loop. We happy with them? It should be like Hershey shaped apparently, that's what people say. I don't know, one of them looks like maybe I should not. I don't know, it looks fine from that side though. I think these will go fine too. On the side, not even in focus though. Yeah. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Just the top down. I'll probably calibrate this next time because I'm like tired and hungry. But I'll probably, oh, I haven't cleaned it. If I cleaned it, wouldn't it, this side? But I'm assuming the Amazon delivery is not going to come early tomorrow because I ordered it quite late today. But we have gloves come in, FarmTech, if you're still there. I think it was the 835s. I could be wrong on the code number for that. 93835 maybe. I double checked that they were the right ones in the specifications. I think they're 4.9 mil on the hands and I think 5.1 mil or something like that on the fingertips. Because we had another tear on one of these today. They've held up pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty decent, but we do get random tears now and again. We ordered some Super Wick and a hot air station. Oh, and I forgot, we finally ordered a 5 volt. Yeah, that's 3 times today. Nice, the one roulette. Nice. You're feeling lucky. That goes blessing you. We ordered a 2 amp 5 volt DC power supply as well. So that's the power supply we need for Space Stacker. So he will officially have a power supply and can go live. I think everything should be clean, yeah? Good then, Deco version 2 will be running soon. Yeah, tomorrow it should all be arriving. I paid a bit more for everything, just because, like, convenience, just getting it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm really happy with all them soldering joints. They all look factory to me when you're looking at them by eye. And if I pulled that out, I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Maybe on 1 or 2, they don't look 100% perfect. It's nice to actually have some legs poking through. Been a while since I've installed an Alp stick, and the TMR sticks I've got, all the legs are too short on the pots. So you just get like a little horrible looking mounds, but they just don't look like they've been soldered properly, but it's the best you can do with that leg length. But yeah, new sticks. We'll have a hot air station, be like a hot air station. We can try to fix them. I think it's 2 controllers which we need to do a USB replacement on, and one we're going to try and do a reflow on. I don't know if that's going to fix anything. I just feel like there's a problem with the chip, and I'm just hoping the chip is not broken or short internally. I'm hoping a reflow will solve the issue. Who knows? I think that one was when I got like shafted by a seller. They'd sandwiched 2 different revision boards together as well. So I think they just got all their like broken parts with issues and just buttoned them together into one controller and soaked it as like faulty, not tested or whatever. I was going to say, we'll put this back in and test it. But it's literally no point because we've got to, I guess we could quickly just to make sure the sticks are working and stuff, no drift. But this is the one we've got to do a port replacement on. Anyway. So once the hot air comes tomorrow, we're going to do a port replacement on this port, I think. Yeah, the red one. I think it's the one that had the faulty port on it. Should say on here, yeah, faulty USB port. Let's keep this with the thing that knows when it goes to. So I will quickly plug it in, just to confirm that there was no drift issues anyway. But I just want to make sure, you know, nothing's been broken, nothing's been damaged, etc. Don't generally recommend pulling of these with the tweezers. I just gently push them before you pull the board in. But if they go under, just gently pull them with the tweezers. Very gently. Don't break your antenna cables, they are delicate. I have seen, not in real life yet luckily, but pictures online of people who have just like yanked and ripped these cables off somehow. No idea how people manage that. Always carefully your wires under any boards. Another good tip. One of these has come out, there you go. These wires, if you don't twist them together, they just make a mess when you solder them down. You can just dangle it and hold it like this, it's completely fine. There's no tension on any connections or anything, because it runs from here all the way down to there and all the way to the motor that's tucked in there. And you ain't gonna break anything. Just grab it and just spin it. And that's nice and twisted now. Leave a little bit on the ends, you can solder it, but now when you push this wire in here, it's going to be nice and neat. And that's how it comes when it's from the factory. And I'm assuming they probably just do it this way in the factory too. Just twist the wires together. And job done. One wire is a little bit longer on this one, maybe because I've twisted the black one around. But that's completely fine because the black one goes down lower anyway, and the grey one goes up higher. So it's got a further distance to reach. This one on this side comes around from the outside, and the black comes in from the inside. But we don't need to worry about them for a second. Just make sure they're off the board, basically. Chuck a screw or 2 in there. Don't even need to connect the antennas, just want to make sure they're not touching anything, because I have had them loose before and then they touch a random thing and short your bloody your controller out. I haven't damaged any controllers from shorting them like that, but they won't knock on if they're shorted. It's kind of obvious though if the power's going to ground and not to the component, just returning straight to the power source. Skipping out the component that actually needs power. 35. You just keep betting 35 or high 30s. Let's just plug this in just as a quick test. Oh, I was going to say, it's got a faulty USB port, doesn't it? That's why it's not auto knocking on. And the motor's not going to rumble because, oh, we're not getting data. We're not even getting pairing happening with this now. Oh, there you go. Just took a minute. Just switch over to the gamepad test. Let me see if I can show you guys that. There you go. So obviously there's no calibration or anything done on these yet. Maybe we put a stick on here. It's not inside the case either, so we can have too much of a range of motion. That's only holding because I accidentally have my finger on it. Oh, we gotta remember we need to put a label on it because the plastic's broken on this as well, isn't it? That's not in the case, so we're gonna get a really high error. But once they're calibrated to be perfect, if you look at where the error zones are, how consistent the error zones are. See them red patterns in every like 45-degree increment? That's the important thing, basically. That's like the main thing that counts when you're looking at the sticks. That is like the perfect pattern. It's overshooting a lot right now and the error is high because they haven't been calibrated. If we get that consistent of a pattern, once they're calibrated, and we get between a 6 and 8% error, perfect. Like, as best as you could possibly ask for, basically. We'll bring in them zones closer to the circle as well, hopefully. But yeah, this is where you really get OEMs. It took me forever to find OEM ones. You have to find the ones with the right text, basically. The thick logo on them, not the thin logo. So yeah, new sticks on these apps. We're gonna have to make a label for this up because I remember that this plastic is broke as well, which we didn't notice before because this was in our confirmed working pile. But I'm just going to confirm that the plastic is definitely broken on here. Yeah, it definitely is. It's completely snapped. Maybe I just tested the bumpers like at the top and they come back as working. But I noticed earlier the gap is a bit wide and then tested on the very edge and it doesn't push down. We push on the very tippy edge. So that's generally, that's a good way to tell if it's broken. Oh, let's just yeeted this off. There it is. So that's broken. We have a replacement one, but we can probably just glue this back together. It will be completely fine. It's not under a massive amount of force and pressure and stuff anyway. Just enough to push that down there. And the force doesn't go onto this bar. This bar is just here to push this down, basically. It's just in the right position. It's just under a little bit of tension, allowing everything to line up. But yeah, I've repaired some of these before and they hold up perfectly fine. If we have the activator, it's the best though, because you can spray the activator on and then hold it like tight and exactly where you want it to be. Hold it there for about like 10-15 seconds and that thing will be set solid, basically. But I need to find the activator. We'll figure that out tomorrow anyway. Once the hot day comes and we'll fix all of this properly. So let's make a label on this. See what I mean? Oh, that's what I was saying earlier about some boards having marks on them. They always seem to have like a 1 and stuff as well. This one's got a blue dot on here and it's got a 1 imperial marker on here. And I'm pretty sure these things come from factory. So new USB port and bumper bar replacement, I guess we'll call it. So let's make a label for this, guys. Faulty USB port and bumper bar broke. Snapped. I think that's the only issues with it, isn't it? And obviously it needs calibration. But I'm sure we'll test before we confirm it working anyway, so we'll know. Do I need to charge this? Is it dead? No, there you go. Print the label. Where do we put this label? Do we just yeet it over there, or do we stick it on the board? I guess you stick it on the board. Just whack it on there for now. That should be fine. I don't think that's falling off. So I can leave that on this when I come back tomorrow to put the new USB port on this one. We know this one needs a USB port. We need to fix this plastic here. If we're not happy with the plastic, the quality of the fix and strength, once it's done, which we should, because cyanoacrylate is really strong. It literally like melts the molecules or whatever together, like bonds on a molecular level, I'm pretty sure. Then we'll just replace it, because I'm super picky about stuff anyway. But I feel like it'll be stronger than the new one. I think if I have to bend this once it's glued, that this plastic will break elsewhere before it breaks on the joint, because it's not the strongest anyway. And obviously there's not much mass around where the hole is on the USB port. So I think, and the strength and the tension, that is going to be the weakest part anyway. Not our fix. Even though that kind of will be in place and won't be moving, it kind of flexes from there. So we'll see, we'll fix it up. I fixed them before and I had issues, so I'm fairly confident. Let's put this way up. I'm looking forward to having some nice snacks tonight though. I do keep saying I keep cutting down on snacks. I think I'm putting on weight. I don't know, I don't weigh myself, but my face looks a bit bigger. And I'm looking in the mirror, so I'm thinking maybe I should eat less snacks, but snacks be tasty. So yeah, we should have a bunch of stuff coming tomorrow. I didn't like spending the money. I was like, but I've been putting off buying some of these things for a while. So I thought, why not? We'll get the hot air station. It's only a cheap one. It's not the cheapest one I could have got. Second cheapest one. And I think they both done the same thing. Just this one came faster. Even though it was like basically double the price. This is still a cheap bit of equipment. I'm not expecting miracles, but it should be more than adequate enough to do all the stuff I need to do. I just hope it doesn't make learning too difficult, because I don't know how accurate the temperature and stuff is going to be. So people might be like using an Arden, is that what they're called? Or just a more expensive model. They might be using like a 350, so like a 430, 450, but mine might be saying that, but it might actually be the temperature's regulating it. So people's recommendations, it's just gonna have to get used to the feel of it basically, I think. More with the cheap ones, just because they're not going to be as accurate. I think that's the main issue I'm going to have. Consistency of heat output and accuracy of heat output more than anything. But that just comes down to feel more than anything, because I guess that kind of, the airflow is the hard part to adjust. Okay, yeah, I'm obviously, my understanding of airflow is like, airflow is what transfers the heat. More airflow is more heat transfer, but more airflow also equals like one, heating things too fast and too violently, and also demounting or like moving and blowing away components and stuff, like putting too much of a physical force onto the board with a high airflow. So you don't want it too low, but you want it high enough to be, you know, actually being able to transfer enough heat to the board, or air to the board, and the air is what is transferring the heat, because it's warm air, and obviously air is an insulator, it's a good insulator, so it's not good at transferring heat. So I understand you're going to need a decent amount of air. More airflow, less temp. Okay. Is it just because the airflow is cooling down the heating elements, is like, I don't know what the word would be, like transferring the heat kind of thing, like, you know, the way heat sink works? Dissipating, that's what I was looking for. A lot of that energy is just transferred to the air that's going past it. The more air, the more transfer of the heat, I guess. And obviously, I guess a lower quality soldering station is not going to be able to regulate that heating element as well for the heat loss it's getting from the air. and spread the heat on a PCB. Okay, yeah, once we use it, we'll probably get used to it. I don't think it's going to be overly complicated. I've used a heat gun many times. So I've got like literally hundreds of hours of using a heat gun. Only because it took me, like, I stripped like an antique stairs for a family member before. Like a 200-year-old stairs, I think it was, solid oak. It took about 2 weeks. And then I done mine as well. Because I happen to, where I am now, have a, I don't know how old it is, it might be as old as well. It's a solid oak staircase as well. But that one didn't take me 2 weeks. That one was much faster because I learned. That one I done mostly with chemical. I done the other one with hot air mostly. Full airflow 300 Cs and SMD is fine. Did the SMDs just go yeet? A full airflow of 300. Is 300 even going to be hot enough? Because I was going to start on like 400, but we'll figure that out. I'm using a fairly small board, so I know I'm not going to need as much heat because it's going to have a smaller ground plane and less mass, basically, like less copper. Because the fiber part of the board, it's a fiberglass or whatever it's made of, doesn't really count as much because it's not really, it's an insulator, isn't it? It's not really going to be absorbing much heat compared to the metal copper part, like the ground plane, depending on how many layers the board is. I don't even know if this is a 5-layer or a 2-layer PCB. Because sometimes you might use a 5-layer even though you're not running components on any of the internal layers or anything like that. But for like traces, or you might have like a ground plane, mainly in audio, just I've seen it, where you'll use a 5 just because the distance between the top, the via distance between the top of the board and where your ground plane is, and your shared ground plane over the entire board is shorter. And the shorter the ground plane on all devices, the better. And then you'll have another plane that's like power. I was watching a bunch of like PCB design videos when I was trying to do the Bluetooth headphone project. I watched like so many videos on like audio grounding and good design practices and stuff. Yeah, big ground is harder to heat up. Yep, definitely. Up and away components on PCB. Okay, yeah, we'll figure that out. Hopefully everything goes well. I reckon the first time we use it, everything will go perfectly smooth, and then the second time we use it, will go absolutely awful, and we'll butcher something because we'll be overly confident. Because that's what happened on my first controller fix, the first one I done for my little brother. Like, I had like the most janky ass equipment, a really crap soldering iron, like that Duratool one. There wasn't even a cartridge style soldering iron. Like there wasn't a cartridge tip, a cartridge style tip iron. Used like the old technology style. And I managed to somehow remove the joysticks from that and everything and get them out. No issue in putting new ones in. And then I tried it the second time, like, damn, that was pretty easy. And I made an absolute mess and I damaged the board. Damaged like 3 through holes. Like, they were salvageable. There was some remnants of barrels and would you call it a trace, I guess, pad? Trace, like the through hole, the top of the through hole. But yeah, I ripped like half a barrel on like 3 of them and some of the tops, the pads on the top and stuff. Yanking at them, trying to get them out, and just, yeah, it was a mess. But the first one I done went perfect, so I was really confident going into the second one. And that's why I finally decided to buy one of these. And now we finally have hot air, so yeah. We're going up in the world. Bigger nozzle, less heat, higher flow. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Bigger nozzle is less heat, higher flow. Wouldn't a smaller nozzle be a higher flow though? Because you've got the same amount of airflow going through it, or the same volume of air, sorry, but it's going through a smaller thing. That's why it normally works. Like if you've got like a compressor or something, or like a vacuum cleaner, for example, you put a smaller one in because you're forcing the same amount of air through a smaller area. It means the pressure and the speed is faster. Right, I am going to wrap. Oh my god, it's gone midnight already. I literally thought it was like just gone 11 still. The last hour has absolutely flown by. Sheets. I didn't want to be up super late tonight either. because I want to I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I want to try and actually make use of the weekend and do something. I want to have rest and sleep on 2 days, but I also, I don't know, I've got a family member who I can borrow a petrol streamer from, but it's just hard work to try to get it here. I don't know when I'll be able to get it. I don't know whether to just go and buy one tomorrow, because I got some gardening work I want to do. I want to trim everything down in the back with a brush cutter, and then rake it all off and I forgot what it's called now. Till, I think, is the word for all the land. I did literally dig it all last year and fork it all, fork it all, pitchfork it all, turn it all over. It was all done and ready to seed, and I left it, didn't seed it, and now this year it's all got overgrown. It looks like it hasn't been done. There's weeds and all sorts of crap in it, and random grasses, and yeah. But it was perfect last summer. It was literally all dug, all fresh soil and everything down as well. All what you call it, wriggled, when you put the soil through a mesh to get any bits out. And yeah, I left it. Should have seeded it. Oops. Weeds come fast. Yeah, literally as soon as the spring comes, the weeds are just sound, and they just got to do something about everything soon. I'm gonna buy some weed killer as well, because I got these. I've gaps in between the slabs. I've gone over, I done them, I weeded them a bunch of times last year. I've even concreted them, not concrete, that's the wrong word, cemented them twice. And the weeds just keep coming through. It's not a normal weed, they're these weird, I don't know, thick stemmy, they look a bit like asparagus. And they've only had them the last 2 years. Never had them anyway, apart from the last 2 years, but the last 2 years, they just spread like wildfire. I even cemented in between all the slabs last year, and they've come back through again this year. So I sprayed them with white vinegar, because we had loads of white vinegar that we bought to try to test, but it wasn't strong enough, rust removal. I got a 20% instead. So we mixed that with a bunch of salt and a dab of washing powder, and we sprayed all the weeds down, just because that's a bit more friendly to the environment. So we're going to test that first. If it doesn't work, I'm using glyphosate again. That's what I normally use. Whatever the highest concentration you can get there. That's the strongest weed killer you can get without a commercial license. It's good, it does the job, but obviously you've got to bear in mind wash off and run off and stuff. I have rose plants and rose trees and stuff like that in my garden. Even though it's far away from the weed, when it rains, even though it does technically neutralize and break down in the soil, glyphosate, it is still harmful to some of the microbes and some of the wildlife in the ground, and wash down and wash off, can wash it into your flower beds and stuff like that. Rose salt works. Okay, I've got loads of that. I've got 2 massive ass bags of that stuff. I've got one right here. I used a bunch of this for stuff like that last year, and it's just handy for when ice comes as well. You can just mix it with a bit of builder sand, white salt, melt snow, ice, clean. This is one of the bags. That's a 10 kilo. Big, nice salt crystals. Do it before rain day. Yeah. I got a jet wash and a hose, so I could just hose it and water it in. It makes but you got to be careful by salting things up too much, because that's what I done it last year to kill off a bunch of stuff. Yes, basically it makes a saline solution, but that can kill all the land and stuff. And I'm trying to grow a nice flower bed and a nice lawn. I can't remember the blend of seed, but I spent ages researching all different grass types and blends and stuff like that. I think it's fuchsia we went for. I can't remember, but yes, it's what they use on bowling greens. Basically, it's nice and it's slow growing, and it grows outwards this way rather than upwards. Don't you, in concrete cracks? Yeah. But yeah, we tried all of that stuff last year. I've got the bags of the stuff. I'll just use glyphosate. If it doesn't work, what I've done already, then I'm gonna have to step it up to something a lot stronger, basically, glyphosate. Because we even literally weeded all the cracks out manually by hand with like a special tool to get everything out of them. We jet washed and chemicaled every single crack, like gap between all the slabs, and then cemented them all. There literally shouldn't have been anything. There was no soil, no dirt, no debris left, and there shouldn't have been any roots, any seeds, because it was all jet washed out. They just come out of nowhere again. So yeah, the poison it is if it carries on, basically, because it looks absolutely atrocious because it's in the front, right, but like where people can see where the weeds are coming through. All right, I'm gonna wrap the stream up because otherwise I'll be rambling on all bloody night otherwise, and I want to just have a little bit of a chill out before sleep and have some snacks. So thank you very much to everybody who's tuned in. I know just a lot of people have already left, but it's understandable. It's like really late on a Friday night. People are probably tired and sleepy, like me. But yeah, thank you very much to everybody who's popped by to the stream tonight. You're all much appreciated. Hopefully some more future projects will open up now that we have a new piece of equipment come in. Hopefully it's good and we don't have any issues with it and it doesn't ever break or anything like that. But I think if it was to break, I think they're fairly simple to repair. I don't know if they're worth repairing because of the cost of parts versus the cost of the machine. But yeah, fingers crossed we don't have any issues. It works great and we can do lots of new stuff. Maybe we can start tackling like HDMI replacements and stuff. Who knows? Because that's probably one of the easiest things to do as far as I'm aware on like on a console, on like an Xbox Series, Xbox One, PlayStation, etc. It's quite a common fault, and I think it's going to be one of the easiest faults to be able to fix, because it's like a known fault. I'm going to troubleshoot and trace faults, testing for voltage lines. Oh, is it this chip? Is it that chip? Is it this component? Like you can physically see the port is mangled. You're like, okay, that needs changing. But yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah, have good sleep and post live in Discord. Yeah, I probably should start posting again when I'm going live on Discord so more people can, enjoy the stream. Because, they're missing out. But yeah, alright, time to get some sleep. Take it easy, guys. Thank you very much for everybody who's tuned in. I'll have a little scroll up, just name some names from chat. I think I've mainly seen Farm Tech talking at the moment. Thank you, Farm Tech. I'm not too sure what else is lurking out there. Let's just scroll up. I cannot see anybody else. Maybe someone's still lurking, or Falcon. I'm not too sure. If you are, thank you very much. Anybody who's lurking out there, thank you. Take it easy, guys. We will. I got a tiny little bloody cut on my hand right by there. It's absolutely stinging. It's a tiny, tiny little paper cut. It's really long though, or cardboard cut. All right, take it easy, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow probably. Once the Amazon package arrives, we'll have hot air. Woot woot. Take it easy, guys. Night night. Bye bye. Bye bye.